So you've been wanting to stream, record, and play games all on one PC? Well, there's been an update to OBS. Check this out. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy C Will, back to you with another video. Super excited today. Why? Because there's been an update to OBS. Oh my gosh. Man, I've been waiting on this update. Why? Because finally we have gotten to the point where we could be able to stream, game, and record all on one PC. Yes, I know it's amazing without no render lag or any of that stuff. But before we get into this video, man, if this is your first time here, welcome. Here we do everything tech, all things tech, whatever it is, we like to do it. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, I appreciate you the most because you keep things going. So without further ado, let's get into this video. All right, guys. So, hey, we have OBS here. And what I did is, this is actually github.com. So this is going to be a real quick video. We're not going to go into how to get everything set up from scratch. This is pretty much, you're already using OBS. So it's pretty much just going to be about what settings that I'm using and the hardware that I have, and hopefully you can be able to follow these same steps and it works out for you. So first things first, so you need to make sure that you have the latest update of OBS, and we are definitely talking about Windows. The latest release is the 24.0.3, and if we hop back over here to GitHub, the 24.0.3 has a hot fix, has some other couple of changes, but the biggest updates actually came with the 24.0.2, and I'm just going to highlight something here. This is the biggest change. It says when running OBS as administrator, games will now be much less likely to cause lag to the video of OBS. We will eventually get this improvement working without running as administrator. Currently, this does not work unless OBS is running as administrator. So basically what you have to do, this is something that we all been waiting on for the longest. Because if you tried running Apex Legends or high frame rate games, you always get some sort of type of render lag or encoding lag and stuff like that. And sometimes the streams come out okay. Sometimes it gets a little choppy, stuttering and stuff like this. But I can now confirm after using this update, all that is no longer an issue. I can actually even have my preview open and all that good stuff. So we're going to go through that real quick. So I'm just going to minimize this. So what you need to do, so I'm going to right click on OBS, and I actually have it running already because I'm using it to record. But if you right click on OBS, you can run as administrator. And once you do that, let's hop over to my other screen here. Once you do that, then you can have OBS open. And so my OBS may look a little bit different because I'm using the stream elements, kind of like plug-in and stuff like that, but it's the same thing. If you go to, so first things first, you're going to go to settings. We're going to go to video. Now currently right now I am recording, but your base canvas always, your base resolution always needs to be the actual resolution of the monitor. And I'm using the PG279Q 1440p monitor, so that's why I set like that. I'm also recording right now, but I actually stream at 1280 by 720p. So 720p is what I record at. I also use bicubic sharpening, and for down scaling, bicubic is actually better. When you're upscaling, length source is actually be better, and I also do it at 60 frames per second. So when we go to output, now for the streaming settings, I actually stream to YouTube. Sometimes I stream to Twitch, but the settings that I'm showing you right now, you can use it for YouTube or Twitch. So I'm using CBR, constant bitrate. And the bitrate that I'm using is 6,000. So for Twitch, that's the highest that you could be, is unless you are a partner, Twitch partner. And then I think you could actually go up to 8,000, but bitrate I'm using 6,000. If you're not for sure exactly which bitrate you could use, you definitely need to test out your bandwidth, your upload speed. My upload speed is like 30 megabytes per second. And so I use 6,000. For one, the quality is great. And for 720p, that is more than enough. Also, two, I could go higher, but I have so many other things running on my network, stuff like that. Even though I am wired in through Ethernet, I still try to keep it, you know, pretty much conservative, because sometimes your upload, your bandwidth, it may fluctuate sometimes. Keyframe interval is 2. I have my preset set at quality. You could use max quality, but I'm using quality. Profile is high, and I have look ahead unchecked. I have cycle visual tuning checked. GPU, I don't mess with this. I always set this to 0. Max B frames is 2. And so these are the streaming settings that I use. Now, because I also record and play games at the same time, here's where I was running into issues. So right now, up here at the top, this is grayed out, but if I wasn't recording, this would show up different encoders. So right now it's kind of grayed out, but it says NVIDIA NVENC H.264 new. So if you have a RTX card, then you can actually use the new NVENC encoder. If you do not have an RTX card, you can use the regular NVIDIA NVENC encoder. Then you'll have the X264, which uses the CPU, and then you may have the quick sync encoder, but that's bad for streaming. So definitely, so you are definitely going to need a NVIDIA graphics card for what I'm showing you today. So if you do not have that, then you got to look at some other options. But if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, then this is going to work out for you. So NVIDIA NVENC H.264, if you have an RTX card, you can use these settings. They're rock solid, great quality from the stream. And then if you go to recording, so currently right now I am recording, but I'm up here, I'm on advanced, and I have the audio tracks 1 and 2. I am recording through MKV, and what that does, it allows you to be able to have multiple audio tracks. I actually remux the actual video over to MP4, and so MKV allows you, just in case if something goes wrong with the stream, MKV will actually save your file without corrupting it. So that is definitely pretty cool. And then for the encoder, I'll tell you about that. Now, rate control, on constant bit rate. Right now, I am recording at 70,000 kbps, and that's because I'm recording at a higher bit rate because of the resolution that I'm using. But while streaming, I actually record at, I would change this over to 20,000. Keyframe interval 2, max quality, profile high, look ahead turned off, cycle visual tuning check, GPU 0, max B frames 2. And then if we go over here to advanced, I have the process priority on normal, and everything else is pretty much normal. So those are my actual streaming settings. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna test out these settings. So one of the hardest games to stream and record all at the same time is definitely Apex Legends. High frame rate, a lot of things going on, and man, it's just intense. And so right now, I'm currently recording, and just so you can see that I'm recording, check this out. And if you can see right here, I'm recording, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the stream. And up here, as you can see, there's no drop frames. Down here we're at 60 FPS. My preview is open and we are good. So let's go ahead and start some gameplay. Also, just so you know, I use game capture. This definitely is less stress on the actual system when you're recording and stuff like that for OBS. So use game capture whenever you can. So let's start up a round of Apex Legends. All right, so the game is started. You can see my FPS.
The next ring is far. Keep an eye on the clock.
And I'm currently at 165 frames per second. And as you can see, everything is pretty smooth. It's looking good. Now, let me show you this here. This is the actual stats window for OBS. And right now, frames per second, 60. Now, this is where it was always an issue. Frames missed due to rendering lag. Skip frames due to encoding lag. As you can see, 0. Got a couple of drop frames because I was switching out between windows, but this is your ideal setup. And right now, as you can see, I'm streaming. That's the stream, and this is the recording. And everything is pretty much good to go. So that's my OBS settings. Hope that helps. Let me know down in the description below what you think. Once you try this out, let me know what your experience was, and I hope you was able to get the same type of results. All right, man, that was awesome. I appreciate you for watching the video all the way through. So you learn how to be able to stream, game, and record all on one PC. You got the settings, so now you know exactly what to do. So definitely hit me down in the comments below. Let me know what are your experiences, if you're able to do the same thing that I'm doing. I know you may not have the same PC as I have, but you should still be able to do the same thing I'm doing if you have the NVIDIA graphics card. So definitely don't forget to follow me on all social media. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and it's going to be at Wilcreatives. That's at Wilcreatives. And if you forget, you can hit the links in the description below. Also, don't forget to follow me on Discord. The link, the actual invite link, is below to our new Discord. So I definitely want to build up our community. Yeah, I want to talk about anything and all things tech. Man, I look forward to chatting with y'all, playing some games, streaming. Man, I'll see you in the next video.